Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling something that can feel pretty big for a lot of people. Learning English right from square one. Absolutely zero.
Right. It can seem, well, overwhelming.
Definitely. But, so many people have done it successfully, starting with absolutely nothing. So think of this as like a practical guide to get you started. Maybe make it feel a bit less scary.
Exactly. And it doesn't really matter why you're learning. Maybe it's travel, maybe work, or exams.
Yeah, or making friends, studying somewhere new, or just, enjoying movies or music in English.
Whatever it is, this deep dive is about giving you that solid starting point.
So our mission today, we've looked at this guide, Starting English from Zero, and we're going to pull out the really key nuggets.
Yeah, the essentials. To give you, the listener, a clear idea of how to actually begin effectively.
Okay, so where does this guide tell us to start? What's step one?
Well, the very first thing, and it's easy to gloss over, is understanding why. Your personal reason for learning English.
Okay. Not just I want to learn English, but something more specific.
Precisely. The source mentions the common ones, travel, work, exams like IELTS, TOEFL.
Making international friends, studying abroad, enjoying media.
Yeah. But the point it makes is that having a really clear, maybe even vivid goal is way more motivating.
So instead of just travel, maybe picturing yourself actually ordering coffee in London.
Yeah.
Or understanding a specific TV show without subtitles.
Exactly that. That concrete image can be a much stronger driver, especially when things get tough. When you feel like giving up.
That makes a lot of sense. Motivation is key.
So the actionable thing for you listening is figure out your why, write it down, be specific, look at it often.
Okay, solid advice. Motivation sorted. What's next, according to the guide?
Next up is logically the absolute basics, building that foundation.
Right. Resist the urge to jump into complicated grammar straight away.
Yes, exactly. Start small. First thing, the English alphabet.
A to Z seems obvious, maybe?
Well, yeah, but the guide stresses actually practicing writing them, both capital and small letters, and crucially, learning how to pronounce each one correctly.
Okay. The sounds are important.
Very. It recommends using things like YouTube videos or apps specifically to hear those sounds accurately. It's the bedrock.
Got it. Alphabet.
Simple vocabulary. It suggests focusing on the 100 most common English words first.
Not just random words, but the high frequency ones.
Exactly, like basic pronouns I, you, he, she, it. Simple verbs go eat, drink, play. Nouns like cat, dog, book, school.
And adjectives big, small, good, bad, happy. The real core stuff.
Precisely. These are the words you'll encounter constantly.
And how does it suggest learning these? Just memorizing a list?
No, it suggests more active methods. Using pictures for association. Flashcards are a big one.
Flashcards. Old school, but effective.
They really are. Physical ones are apps like Memrise or Quizlet. Those apps often use spaced repetition, which helps things stick.
Right. Okay, so alphabet, common words. What else is foundational?
Numbers, days, months, and colors.
The practical stuff for everyday life.
Yeah. Numbers 1 to 100, Monday to Sunday, January to December. Basic colors like red, blue, yellow.
And it mentions a tip for learning these.
It does. Using images and colors again. Apparently, our brains latch on to that visual information. Helps with memory.
Makes sense. And I guess basic greetings fit in here too.
Absolutely. The essential phrases for initial contact. Hello, hi, how are you?
I am fine, thank you. What is your name? My name is.
Nice to meet you. All those core social phrases.
And the key is
practice them. Say them out loud every day, even if it feels a bit silly at first.
builds muscle memory.
Yeah.
Right. And confidence for that first hello.
Exactly. Gets you over that initial hurdle.
Okay, so we've got these basic building blocks. What comes after laying that groundwork?
Listening. Start listening from day one. The guide really emphasizes this.
Why so early?
It draws a parallel to how babies learn their first language, mostly by just hearing it all the time. Immersion in sound.
Okay, interesting. So what kind of listening? Complex news reports.
Definitely not. It suggests starting really simple, like English kids shows or cartoons.
Oh, like Peppa Pig, Dora the Explorer.
Yes, things like that. Or Sesame Street. The language is simple. The pronunciation is usually very clear, often slower. It's ideal for tuning your ear.
Kind of like learning by stealth while watching cartoons. I like it.
Yeah, and it's not about understanding everything at first, just getting used to the sounds. It also suggests simple English podcasts.
Any examples?
The English We Speak from the BBC or Voice of America's Learning English service. They're designed for learners.
And the advice is just listen, even if you don't get it all.
Pretty much daily exposure. Your brain starts picking up patterns subconsciously, rhythm, intonation.
And subtitles. Helpful or not?
Very helpful, but English subtitles, watching English videos with English text on screen.
Ah, so you connect the sound you're hearing with the word you're seeing.
Exactly. Sound and spelling together really reinforces learning.
Okay, listening covered. But language isn't just passive, right? We need to speak.
Absolutely. And the guide says, start speaking from the beginning. Don't wait.
Even if you make tons of mistakes.
Especially if you make mistakes. That's how you learn. Perfectionism is the enemy here. Just get talking.
Okay, but what do you say if you only know basic words?
Start with super simple sentences. The guide gives examples like, I like apples, or she's my sister.
I go to school. This is my book.
Yeah.
Really basic structures.
Yes. Using the vocabulary you've just learned. And again, the advice is say them aloud, repeat them daily.
Get your mouth used to forming English sounds.
Exactly. Now, here's a tip that some might find interesting.
Oh, go on.
Talk to yourself.
Talk to myself out loud.
Yeah. Describe what you're doing. Like, I am walking, I am making tea, now I watch TV.
Doesn't that feel a bit strange?
It might. The guide acknowledges that, but it's incredibly effective. It's a zero pressure way to practice forming sentences in real time. Have you tried it?
Maybe when learning French years ago. It does make sense though. No fear of judgment?
Precisely. You can experiment freely. Another way is describing things around you or narrating simple tasks.
Okay, I'm sold on talking to myself. But what if you want interaction?
Then apps and chatbots come in handy. Duolingo is mentioned for its game-like feel.
Right.
LASA Speak gets a shout out for pronunciation feedback using AI, which is pretty cool. And Hello English is mentioned as a more comprehensive option.
So technology can help bridge that gap before you talk to real people.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, the G word, grammar.
Yes. The part everyone dreads.
Often, yeah. But the guide's approach is quite refreshing. It says don't get bogged down in complex rules early on.
Phew. Okay, so what then? Ignore grammar.
Not ignore it, but learn it more naturally. Focus on basic sentence patterns first.
Like the ones we mentioned earlier. Subject, verb, object.
Exactly. I eat apples. She drinks milk. Or subject, verb, adjective. He is happy. It is cold.
Learn by example, not by memorizing rules in a vacuum.
That's the idea. See the patterns in action. The guide suggests looking for these structures when you're reading simple stories or watching with subtitles, even checking out social media captions.
So absorb grammar through context.
Yes. It tends to stick better that way.
That leads nicely into reading then. Is that also recommended early on?
Yes, daily reading, even if it's just a little. It helps with understanding, builds vocabulary naturally, and improves spelling without you even trying too hard.
And what should beginners read? Shakespeare.
No, definitely not. Children's books are highly recommended.
Seriously. Like The Very Hungry Caterpillar.
Absolutely. Or Dr. Seuss, the Oxford Reading Tree series. They use simple, repetitive language, often with pictures, perfect for beginners.
I like reading.
Even just a page or two a day. Slowly is fine. Consistency is the key.
What about online reading?
Good options there too. Websites like Storyberries, ESL Fast, the British Council's Learn English Kids site. They all have easy stories for learners.
Okay. And I think I've heard of graded readers.
Yes, the guide mentions those too. They're books written specifically for different levels, A1, A2, B1, etc. So you can pick something that's challenging, but not impossible.
Right. Find your level. Makes sense. Okay, reading covered.
Yeah.
But we always need more words, right? Vocabulary building.
Constantly. You need a decent vocabulary for fluency. Flashcards are recommended again here.
Still a classic.
Yep. Make your own. Or use apps like Quizlet or Anki. The key is having the word, maybe a picture, and an example sentence.
The example sentence again. Context is king.
It really is. Don't just learn apple fruit. Learn I eat an apple every morning makes it much more useful.
And the guide mentioned grouping vocabulary.
Yes, learning words in categories, like all the animal words together, or food words, or school items, clothes, family members.
Why does that help?
It helps your brain make connections. It's easier to recall words when they're linked thematically.
Okay. Smart strategy. Listening, speaking, reading, vocabulary. What about writing?
Also important, even simple writing. It helps organize your thoughts and reinforces grammar and vocab.
So what kind of writing for a beginner? Essays.
No. Start small. Keep a daily journal. Just 2 to 5 simple sentences a day.
About what?
What you did, how you feel, what you ate. The guide gives an example. Today is Monday. I woke up 7 a.m. I ate eggs. I am happy. Basic stuff.
Just getting thoughts down in simple English.
Exactly. Another idea is writing simple dialogues.
Like the greetings we talked about.
Yeah, expand on that. A, what's your name? B, my name is Maria. A, where are you from? B, I'm from Spain. Write it, then practice saying it aloud.
Reinforces speaking too. Clever.
And even just texting. If you have friends learning or a language partner, send simple messages in English.
Everyday practice. Okay, we've touched on apps and websites. Technology seems like a big theme.
Huge. The guide really emphasizes using the tools available. We mentioned Duolingo, LingQ for reading listening, Monly for phrases, Hello English, lots of app options.
And YouTube channels.
Definitely. Speak English with Mr. Duncan, BBC Learning English, English Addict, English Class 101. Loads of great free content.
How much watching?
Maybe 10-20 minutes a day is a good target. Find channels you like.
What about translation tools like Google Translate? Use them or avoid them.
Use them smartly. Good for single words or short phrases. Not great for whole paragraphs. The meaning can get messed up.
Any alternatives?
DeepL Translator is often better for grammar accuracy. And Youglish is amazing. You type a word and it finds YouTube videos where people say it naturally. Great for pronunciation.
Oh, that sounds useful. But tech isn't everything, right? You need people.
Absolutely essential. Language is communication. You need to practice with real humans.
How? Especially if you're shy or don't know any native speakers.
Language exchange is a great way. Apps like HelloTalk, Tandem, Speaky connect you with people learning your language who want to practice English.
So you teach them, they teach you.
Exactly. It's a win-win. Also, join online groups.
Like Facebook groups for English learners.
Yeah, or WhatsApp groups, Telegram, Reddit has English learning. Find communities where you can ask questions and practice.
And that slightly weird tip is back again.
Talking to yourself in the mirror. Yes. Practice mini interviews. Hi, my name is. Today I learned. Builds confidence in a safe space.
Okay, so lots of ways to practice, but how do you stick with it? It feels like a lot.
That's where habits come in. The guide stresses building sustainable habits, not putting immense pressure on yourself.
So not studying for 5 hours once a week.
No. Better to do 15-30 minutes every day. Consistency beats intensity.
And try to cover all the skills.
Yeah, try to mix it up daily. Maybe 10 minutes listening, 10 speaking, 10 reading, 5-10 writing. That's like 30-40 minutes total. Very manageable.
And review. Don't just learn new stuff all the time.
Crucial. Always review what you learned yesterday or last week before adding more. Repetition locks it in.
Okay, good habits. The guide also mentioned common mistakes to avoid, like pitfalls.
Yes, really useful section. First big one, waiting to speak until you're fluent.
Don't wait.
Don't wait. Speak now, make mistakes, improve as you go.
Another mistake.
Learning random, difficult words just because they seem impressive.
Yeah.
Stick to common, useful words first.
Makes sense. What else?
Only studying grammar rules and neglecting practice. You need to actually use the language. Mix grammar study with lots of speaking and listening.
And the biggest one, probably.
Being afraid of mistakes. Seriously, mistakes are proof you're trying. They're part of learning. Embrace them. Don't let fear stop you.
Good perspective. So wrapping up the main advice.
The core message is anyone can do this. Learning English from zero is possible. Start with the basics, be consistent, use the resources.
Focus on communication. Practice all 4 skills daily. Find what works for you. And importantly, go at your own pace. Don't compare yourself to others.
And remember that quote, every expert was once a beginner. Everyone starts somewhere.
I like that. Now, the guide had a bonus.
A challenge.
Yeah, a 30-day beginner challenge. A really practical way to just jump in.
Okay, give us the quick version.
Days 110. Alphabet, 50 common words, 10 daily phrases. Watch Peppa Pig with subtitles. Basic immersion.
Got it. Days 11-20. Start a simple journal, those few sentences daily. Try speaking 5 sentences aloud daily. Learn 5 new verbs each day. Listen to a simple podcast. Adding production.
And the last stretch, days 21-30.
Try a 10-minute conversation, partner or mirror, read a short story, watch a cartoon without subtitles, test your listening, and review everything you've learned.
Wow, that's a really concrete plan to kickstart things.
Yeah, it breaks it down into manageable steps.
Okay, so let's quickly summarize the whole deep dive. We've seen it starts with basics, alphabet, simple words, phrases.
Then integrating all 4 skills, listening, speaking, reading, writing consistently, even in small amounts.
Understanding your why, setting goals, that's vital for motivation.
And using everything available, apps, websites, books, people.
And remembering it's a journey, right? It takes time. Patience and persistence are key.
Absolutely. It's not a race, but it's definitely achievable and ultimately really rewarding.
So for you listening, maybe take a second now. Which of these starting points, these strategies kind of clicked with you? What feels like something you could actually do?
Yeah, could you maybe pick just one thing? Learn 5 new words today. Watch 10 minutes of Peppa Pig. Say hello to yourself in the mirror.
Whatever it is, think of it as that very first step, the start of, hopefully, a really exciting adventure in learning English.